Test, 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 test. Oh shit. Is that a new mic? Let's go. Today I wanted to discuss the Axie economics balancing, and I have a few suggestions as to how we might be able to solve some of the SLP concerns as we're now down over 90% from our highs in the summertime. So let's get right to it. Jumping in, to me, the most obvious solution is trimming back the amount of SLP minted through daily rewards and adventure mode. Currently, 70% of all SLP being minted on a daily basis is generated from those two actions. While adventure can be fun to some, both of them are considered what I would call free rewards, which are not skill based. And so in that ecosystem, you're allowing people or computer systems like bots that are able to just farm the adventure mode and earn their SLP there every day. And then you have other players that maybe are just squeaking out their 5 wins off energy, but still be able to get their 75 SLP per day with maybe less productive Axies or maybe not as good of a team. And so what I would encourage a team to do is just do a test of this. Cut out the entirety of adventure mode and daily rewards and just test it for, say, a 4-week season. And my idea here is this: bring back SLP for all MMRs. So anyone that's playing in adventure mode, when they still have energy, they're earning SLP. And that would then allow for some of those maybe lower ranked players to still have an opportunity to earn SLP, even though it's not going to be a lot. Ideally, if you're looking at the MMR, say a 12 to 1500 player, they should still be able to earn around 100 SLP per day. If you do the math on this, if we limit the amount of SLP to only on the matchmaking, and I kind of did rough numbers in a chart that I put up on a Medium post, you'll see that we're able to trim back the SLP minting by 80 million SLP a day, back down to 180 million per day. So that's a pretty good drop off, about 40% less SLP will be minted per day. And then tying back to that too, there's also opportunity. If you did a shorter season, you could reward the top players with a lot more AXS. So I would say do a huge purse. I'm talking like a $3 million purse, or maybe the top players taking home $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, so that there is a massive incentive to have a lot of Axies, to have a really good team, and go push for the top in a very shortened season. Now I know we just ended our last season, so it maybe is a little bit too tight, but I think that if you were to announce this now and give everyone 1 to 2 weeks, you will allow them to then come in fresh to the season by giving them a couple weeks off. On top of that, you could also expand who's going to be receiving rewards. So start to reward people that maybe just finished in the top million. So the top 30% of players in that season are going to get even a fraction of an AXS. So it won't be a lot, but at least be a fraction of an AXS so that they feel rewarded and they get a little bit of ownership within the Axie ecosystem. You can also start rewarding the top players with less SLP and start giving them MAXS, or kind of 1,000th of an AXS for where they finish in a day. So if you are the number 1 player that day, perhaps you do get 1 AXS just for being the number 1 seed at a given time on a day. So also increasing that competition throughout the day, so that if you are saying the top 10 every day and then you end up finishing top 200 at the end of the season, you don't feel like you kind of wasted the whole season grinding at the top of the leaderboard. So there's a couple flips there. It makes the seasons more competitive. You have higher incentives to play because your opportunity cost of time to earn a much bigger purse is there, on top of just minting SLP for skill-based performance. The second option I was looking into is just kind of an SLP tax system on leaving the ecosystem. So whenever someone's withdrawing anything from Ethereum to SLP, AXS outside of Ronin, there would be a levy tax on it. And I'm not talking like a lot, I'm talking maybe 5%. And so if you're, say you're withdrawing 1,500 SLP every 2 weeks, that would be 75 SLP. Right now, it equates to $3.75 that I don't think many users are going to be batting an eye at. Now, yes, I agree. If you're looking at from a scholar perspective who is kind of dependent upon that money, it can seem like kind of a steep tax out. However, they are purely extracting from the ecosystem. They're not saving into ETH. They're not farming RON. They're not staking in liquidity pools. They're not saving for their future team. They're not saving to breed. They really are just extracting from the ecosystem. I think that in that opportunity, you have the chance there to, extract back a tax from them because they are basically just using the system. And so that would just be a simple fix I think they could execute right now. Beyond that too, until Ron gets here, which may be in 2 to 3 weeks, I think another easy system to implement might be just a 1 SLP. So just one. So right now it'd be 2.5 cents SLP fee for all transactions in the ecosystem. So that would basically be your gas. It's just paying a 1 SLP, and that's purely burned. The third option I was throwing out was if you talked about emotes and kind of taunting or throwing out words in the middle of competitive matches, if that's not an opportunity right now because it's still in development, perhaps there are some other easy options. Some people threw out today the kind of the PFP or custom logos on accounts or within wallets. You could even add different banners or titles so that the banner in the top corner of the PvP screen is different. But even those still probably take more than a week to implement. There is some other options there too, especially with scholars not technically owning the wallet that they're using. They might not be able to implement some of those for themselves. So one other thing that I think is worth mentioning would be to actually bring it into tangible goods. So on a normal clothing or kind of toy shop, including shipping, you should be able to earn around a 50% margin on that. That I think that Sky Mavis would be able to burn at least 50% of the SLP used to purchase those goods and ship them, and then potentially keep the remaining 50% either for future rewards or even to kind of cover their cost on it if they needed to. It would just be since the scholars don't own their assets, they could have some other thing that they can, acquire to kind of show their support of the game and use their SLP in some other way than just cashing out. The last method I had, and it may need to be built externally, was just looking into kind of a wagering system for scholars that are out of, or not scholars, but players in general that are out of energy. If they say they wanted to put on 5 SLP, or roughly if they're going to earn 10 SLP per match, they could each put up 5 SLP of their own SLP, still in game, unclaimed to the Ronin network. So it'd be just on the game side. It wouldn't actually have to hit the blockchain. Each put up 5 SLP, and then 1 SLP is extracted out of the ecosystem and just burned there, and the winner will receive 9 SLP. So it's kind of a wager system, but it still again gives other players opportunities to have a better earning potential while not actually minting new SLP. So kind of a way to play to their skill level there as well. So these are just a few ideas I'm throwing out there. I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are in the comments or on Twitter. So feel free to tag me at Axie and with the hashtag AxieEconBalance. But again, there's a lot of things that are going on. Sky Mavis is looking for feedback, so definitely make sure you share. And we'll catch you guys later. Peace.